Hey guys, so the final version of Bounce is out and I want to take a few minutes to walk you through it and show you exactly how I set up my charts. So if you want to, you can emulate me if you like. First order of business I want to show you is how this chart actually is set up in terms of its settings. So this is a plain TradingView chart on a 1 minute time frame, which is exactly what we're going to be trading here. And I'm going to go into the settings and show you how I get this look and feel. First, I'm going to go into the Appearance tab. And in the background, I'm going to choose gradient rather than a solid background. And I'm going to make the gradient, the first color be white, and the second color, this first green in the palette of TradingView, right underneath the green starting palette. This creates, I think, a very, very nice, clean, smooth look for the palette, and I'm perfectly happy with that. The next, I'm going to look at scales, which is these numbers here. And I have it at 12 font. You can make it larger font if you like. It's totally up to you. This is good enough for me to be visible. And then the other thing that I do here is I check off the watermark, and the watermark color is actually this darker green palette on the other side. You can actually see this color. That's the watermark color. It offsets against this green one. I kind of like it, and it makes everything look very nice. So we've got the background of the chart set up, and now we're going to just set up the candles themselves. Now the candles I make monochromatic, meaning that they're just black and gray effectively. And I'll explain to you why in a little bit as we set up the indicator. So the way that I set up my candles is the body of the candle, this would be the buy candle, is actually the third gray square in the gray palette. And the sell candle is literally the black candle. That's the black. So it's just a light gray for the buys and a dark black for sells. That's my palette. The borders for both candles are black, and the wicks for both candles are black. This is just to keep it really, really sharp and steady on the whole look. So once I've done that, and I have my candles and chart all set up, I'm now ready to apply the bounce indicator and set up the bounce look. So let me show you how that's done. I'm going to go into my indicators, and I'm assuming you've already downloaded the indicator and put it into your favorites folder. So once you put it into the favorites folder, you simply click bounce both ways. And the way you know that you have the correct indicator, obviously, you have a midpoint line here. That's a key way of knowing that you have the indicator. But also, if you look at it, it says bounce version 2. Once it says bounce version 2 over here, that's a key tell that you have the right version. So I made it very, very obvious. Now, the reason why I've chosen this monochromatic color is because you can see that we have the candles here showing up as sharp green, right? As a matter of fact, as I'm looking at these candles, I think I'm actually going to change them just a little bit to make them even a little bit sharper and darker. So I'm going to show you how to set that up. We're going to go into the settings of the bounce indicator. Now, the way you get to the settings of the bounce indicator is you go into this line over here and you click the wheel button. You hit this, and now I have the settings of the bounce indicator. And here's what that settings button does. We have the range high set up to green. The range low, all of this is dynamic. Remember, it's going to change up and down as highs and lows are made, is set to red. And the midpoint line is set to black. So those are the standard structures. But what we want to do is choose right now the buy side candle. So we can have a choice of not highlighting the candles at all. We can choose highlighting the buy or choose highlighting the sell. So first we're going to highlight the buy. And right now I have it at this particular green, and I think I'm actually going to make it maybe a little bit more brighter here on this, like this particular green. Although I'm not trying to figure out which one I really want. And then we can do this one too. Maybe actually this one. It's up to you how you want to highlight your greens. I want something that's just popping, poppy, poppy, poppy. I think this actually is quite poppy on the chart. So I'm going to hit that as my choose as my green and say OK, right? And now I have my green indicator like this. Now comes the trick that all of you should use to make it super, super easy for you to be able to replicate this. Once I've done this look and feel, right? I want to go into the templates folder right over here and say save indicator template. Now, this is very important that you follow my protocol exactly. You want to call this by underscore bounce. Okay. Remember the interval. That's important. Keep that to 1 minute, and you say save. Okay. All right. Now we're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to create a cell bounce template. So we're going to go back into the settings mode here. The cell bounce template is much easier. What we're going to do, the cell candles, we're going to highlight the candle, highlighting cell, and we're going to just make that red. I mean, that's not difficult. And you can see the red really pops out against this background. And these are the cell candles that are in a bounce category. Okay, so now we have the cell candles. We're going to go back to templates, and we're going to say save indicator. Again, very important you name it this way. Cell bounce. Okay. Remember interval. Okay. Now here's where it gets very cool. You're going to go into your templates right over here. Click on that. And what you want to do is you want to favorite both the by bounce. So make the favorite over here, add it to a star, and go to your cell bounce right over here and favorite over here. Okay. Now you've done that. Okay. Now watch what happens. Now, instantaneously, you have this by cell template look. So, and this is what's very, very cool about it. If an instrument is in the upper end of the range, then you want to be looking at it from a cell point of view. This is the correct point of view. But let's find an instrument that maybe is at the lower end of its range. Okay, here's gold. It's in the lower end of its range, and you want to look at it from a by point of view. All you have to do is hit the B button, and now all you're going to see is the by point of view with the proper by candles. Remember, the cell candles are not the same as the by candles. They're very different. There's a different candle, it gets painted differently, different structures. So if you want to look at the by structure, you can look at it this way very simply. So this allows you instantaneously, if the instrument is underneath its midpoint, you want to be looking at it from a by point of view. If the instrument is above its midpoint, like let's say NASDAQ right now, you want to be looking at it from a cell point of view. And of course, as always, the single most important thing is our methodology says we wait until the price hits a high and then forms a red candle. This is for a sell methodology. And then we sell, and if it goes, if we get stopped out, we work for the next red candle and the next red candle and the next red candle. And we don't trade anything but the red candle, because that is the only trigger candle that gives us high degree of confidence that there'll be continuity to the other side, to the downside, right? So that's our bread and butter trade. Hey guys, it's Boris. Here's a special add-on to the original bounce video. So this is bounce in buy view. And this tip, by the way, gives full credit to Miguel, who turned me on to this trick. So instead of having two separate views where you have the buy view, and then if we hit the sell view over here, you will get the sell view and you get the buy view. We can put both of them together on one chart. And the way we do this is we have the buy view on the bounce. We can actually add it again to our chart here. Let me just pull this up here. We're going to go bounce both ways and just add that again, and then reconfigure this one into the sell mode. So this one now is configured to the buy mode, right? And we're going to configure it to the sell mode right over here and make it red over here. And say okay. Now, look what happens. We have both buy and sell candles on the same chart. So we don't have to flip around between the two views. We know that when we hit the top and we get a red candle, that's a sell zone. If we're running from the high to the mid-level with the red candle, that's a sell trade. And if we're at the bottom, we get a green candle, that's a buy zone, all in one single view. And actually, you can then save it as a template, which I've done here. I've saved it as one bounce all. If you put the number 1 in front of it, it'll be the first thing, there'll be the first button over here. So Just to give you an idea, I'm going to go to regular buy view. This is the regular buy view. And then if I hit the 1 over here, I get the full, nice, clean, both candles in one single view. So props to Miguel for giving me this tip. And I hope you guys really enjoyed it. It's going to make it much easier for you to follow all the instruments by having one single view to go both buy and sell candles in the bounce view. Boris Schlossberg, over and out.